Pablo and Free on PGC.
All right, Pablo and Free, WPGC. Michelle Obama joining the program in just a few.
Yes, so excited. 47 degrees outside right now. Partly sunny skies and breezy. Expecting a high of 65 degrees. People?
All right, so is she on the line ready to go?
She's ready.
All right, let's do this. Good morning. It's WPGC.
Hey, this is Michelle Obama. Is this Pablo and Free on PGC?
Oh, my God, you know us.
You know us. I feel so special.
You have a few fans in the First Lady's office. I just want to say that.
Oh, good morning, Mrs. Obama. How are you today?
I'm doing just great. How are you all doing?
We're doing really well. The funny thing is we were wondering why you couldn't come to the studio. Is it because Free or me did not pass the security check?
Well, I am actually, as we speak, I am in Colorado because you know how this works. We are all over everywhere.
Right.
So I'm calling in. So I'm hoping that one of these days I can come by to the studio.
Well, don't worry about it because we're planning to cook dinner for you guys at the White House one day. We're gonna have this all planned out. And Pablo is actually from Hawaii.
Oh my goodness! So you got a little you're a little ahi boy. You can ahi and sashimi.
Oh, my God. I think I'm in love. Are you married by any chance?
Yeah, ahi, and all he talks about is spam, Mrs. Obama. Can you enlighten me?
I can't get into spam.
Me either.
I grew up on the south side of Chicago. Where we eat just about anything except spam.
And I'm from Boston, and it's the same way. Now, you are on the trail. You're on the campaign trail. You're going for 4 more years. How are you doing on the trail? Because you were just in Virginia and someone passed out.
Yeah, the truth is there's usually somebody that passes out because the crowds are so packed and many of them have been standing for hours before I even get there.
Yeah.
So there's usually, there is a fallout rate at every rally. So it's just usually if I see it, I usually can't ignore somebody passing out. If it's behind me or in the back, I don't see it. But it happens all the time because, people are standing, it's hot, people are excited, packed in. So, there are a lot of people on hand to help out. But I always like to make sure when I see it that I'm like, get over here, give them some water, make sure they're okay. So.
And that's one of the reasons why, America and people all over the world have taken to you because you're human. And no matter what, you weren't just keeping it just business. Like, listen, I got to get this speech. Give her some water. Let's keep going.
All right, by the way, we have Michelle Obama on the line. And, of course, the pressing question is, what did she say to the president after the debate?
Because the whole world was talking, thinking that he didn't do a good job.
We'll find out next. Michelle Obama joining WPGC is Pablo and Free. Pablo and Free, WPGC. Michelle Obama on the line with us.
That's all right. We're not going to keep you waiting any longer. In this hour, your chance to win $1,000.
And we're going to ask Michelle. Michelle, registering to vote, how easy is it?
It is so easy. And, one of the things I want to encourage people to do is to go to gottavote.com. And that site will tell everybody anything they need about what kind of identification they need, how simple it is, where they need to go. It's as easy as that. And I know they can contact you all at the station and get the same information. But the voter registration deadline in Virginia ends Monday, October the 15th. So that is critical for people to understand, especially first-time voters. You have to be registered before you can vote on Election Day, and that deadline is Monday. So this is the weekend. These next few days, this weekend coming up, it's really a push for people, even if you are registered. We all know people in our lives who aren't paying attention, who may not have voted before, who might be thinking that it doesn't matter, or maybe they moved and they don't know that they need to re-register. And I would hate to have any of our supporters get to the polls on Election Day only to be turned away because they didn't register on time.
Or maybe they just passed out. They woke up. Come on, get to register.
Revive them. Give them water and fan them off and get them up and get them registered.
Just vote. Just vote. Now, gottavote.com, does that cover all states' information?
Absolutely. You can go on there, find your state, click in. It's easy. I've seen some of my young staffers do it. They get on that website so quick, click in a few things, and they've got all the information you need. You can actually, in some instances, register at gottavote.com.
Nice.
So it is easy and simple, and that's what we want to keep repeating to everybody in Virginia, that it is easy and it is simple to do, but you still have to do it.
All right. Now,
once you register, you got to get to the polls on Election Day.
A lot of people aren't registered to vote. We know this. And some of them feel embarrassed about it.
The truth is that it hasn't been until recently that people have been able to see themselves in politics. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, politics for so many, young, old, black, white, it's a distant thing because many of the people who hold those offices, they don't look like us, they don't sound like us, they don't come from the same places, so there's a disconnect, right?
Right.
And it's just been recently that people, and that, it's not just because Barack and I are in the White House,
right,
because, you know, people relate to us, but it's also because the Internet brings people more into the process. There's 24-hour news, so people are just, you know, it's hard to ignore it, right?
Yeah, social networking has definitely helped out a lot.
Absolutely. Tweeting, I mean, I know I tweet as much as possible, and that just sort of makes people aware. And it's also because people are listening, they're starting to really see up close the differences.
All right, fantastic. Michelle Obama, please hold on for a second as I try to get her to follow me on Twitter. We'll be right back with Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama live on WPGC with Pablo and Free, 748.
Good morning, you guys. And stick around because you have a chance to win $1,000 this hour. I hope you're paying attention.
All right, Mrs. Obama, you know what? In your words, tell us what you think the State of the Union is in right now.
I mean, we're seeing right now that we're in the midst of a huge recovery, right? Mm-hmm. Because of what this president has done. Pulled this economy from the brink of collapse where we were losing 800,000 jobs a month. Now we're gaining throughout most of his presidency, we've been adding jobs to this economy because of what he's been doing. The stock market has doubled. Housing prices are rising. Foreclosure rates are lowering. But in the face of that, you still have people trying to convince us that things aren't better. And that just doesn't make sense. Now, Barack, of all people, knows that we still have a long way to go to completely rebuild the economy, but we're headed in the right direction. And when you see all of that truth, it's hard to understand, why are people blocking this? You know, why are people talking about not raising taxes on wealthy people? You know, why is it that people don't want to fight to make sure that veterans have job opportunities?
They just like to talk, Mrs. Obama.
Yeah. So
you are the most sassy. You remind me of my mother. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You heard?
Get it all in. You know, I live with teenagers. I got to get my points in, or else they tune out.
And speaking of your teenagers, I heard one of your daughters is really upset that Bo does not have a playmate.
She's been very concerned that Bo doesn't get enough doggy attention, affection. So yes, recently, in honor of his birthday, we had a few dog friends over, and he was very happy with it. So as I say, in addition to worrying about being the first lady, taking care of the president, making sure my kids are sane, I got to make sure my dog has enough.
Like I said, Michelle, if you need, I have a dog, Chocolate Lab. If she passes security check, I will bring her and drop her off if need be.
That sounds good.
All right, hold on real quick.
Michelle made a dog date.
Any way to get in the White House these days. Michelle Obama still on the line with us. Hold on, my love. We'll be right back. And, of course, we got to ask this question.
Yes.
What did you say to Barack after he walked off the stage of the Denver debate?
Yeah, do you support? Do you critique? It's okay, baby, but you know he didn't do a good job. We'll find out.
Pablo and Free on PGC.
8:15, Pablo and Free, WPGC. On the line, Michelle Obama.
I'm so excited.
And, of course, the $1 million question.
Mrs. Obama. Last week was the first presidential debate. Now, the poll said that Romney won, and even President Obama said he was a little soft during it. Do you ever critique your husband?
You know, I don't critique him because I look at my husband's performance over 3.5 years and even longer than that, right? I mean, he's been in this fight for quite a long time, and I have watched him, just like you all have. I've watched him handle so much, crisis after crisis, with poise, always telling us the truth even when it's hard and not popular, you know, always laying out a clear agenda, always being humble and down to earth, you know, never engaging in short-term political fights that won't help the long term. That's the man that I see every day. That's the man that we saw at the debate. So that, you know, he's doing what he's supposed to do, you know, and quite frankly, I don't want my president to be some hothead, you know, because when it comes to having access to that red button and making decisions from everything from do we go to war and who's got their finger on the button of so much, we want that man to be calm. We want him to be dignified. We want him to be respectful. But we also, you know, want somebody who has clear and common sense answers, right? And having somebody on the other side who believes that cutting Sesame Street is the way to balance our budget. Who wants to get cut on Big Bird but not on Wall Street.
Mrs. Obama.
Somebody who has vowed not to tax wealthy people.
Right. And I'm from Massachusetts, so I know Mitt Romney a little too well. And I'm just waiting for someone to take some skin off of him and for the robot things to come out of his face. I think he's a robot. I just being honest.
Well, I make it a point not to talk about the other candidates. I talk about my husband. And
there you go.
Because that alone is enough. What he's been able to accomplish. He ended the war in Iraq like he said he would. Took out Osama bin Laden, which so many people couldn't do and weren't able to do. So he's tough where it's needed. This is the man who fought and made sure we have health care so that millions of people now who never had care have it, right?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. So we must do our part, especially in Virginia where the race is going to be tight, to get this man back in office for 4 more years, because we have a lot more work to do. And I want people to know that all the gains that we've made, whether it's around same-sex marriage or making sure gays can serve openly in the military, whether it's, you name it, all that stuff is on the line. Rights for women, making sure that we as women free can make our own decisions about our health care and our bodies.
Yes.
That's all on the line. So Virginia can decide this one.
Okay.
But we got to be registered. We have to be more passionate about our issues and our positions than the other side. And we have got to get out to vote, because Virginia can absolutely make the difference in this election.
GottaVote.com, ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Obama.
All right, Pablo and Free on PGC. Love you guys.
Love you
too. Do me a favor, last question.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite spot to eat in Hawaii?
Oh, it's Alan Wong's.
Oh, and by the way, when you go on Air Force One, let me know, because I need to hitch a ride, okay?
Okay.
Pablo and Free on PGC.